Good morning, it's me again. Don't mind the washer, it's just one of those mornings where I don't have a lot of time, so yeah, about that. I've had a fairly good week. My appointment on Saturday went pretty well, even though the doctor, supposed to be some kind of specialist, didn't really seem to understand things. So either I was doing a poor job of explaining it, or he just doesn't know anything about autoimmune metabolic. Yeah, but that's fine because I knew Social Security was going to play tricks with me because they do every year, every time. Every time I try to get back on, they play these tricks so they don't have to put me on. Um, but today I go to the mental health one. I call it a mental status. I should be able to do okay with that one. I my brain was clearly not working very well on Saturday. I don't know why this guy didn't note that, but whatever. Um, Not functioning well is a physical thing, so whatever. Um, but I'm really hoping that I can get the help I need from Social Security, because even though my cells are doing really well right now, I don't know how long that's going to be a thing. I made like $150 in a week. Yeah, in January, which is kind of unusual because most people don't spend money around the first of the year. But that's fine because that means I might be able to afford to get Eli a birthday present. I mean, I'll probably be late, but I'll be able to afford it. And I'll be able to afford some yarns so that I can continue with my project. So I sent up the glow-in-the-dark Kraken hat because I finished it. All I needed to do was put the eyes on it. And we'll see if people will actually pay the extra little bit for the glow-in-the-dark function. I did put care instructions on it that are separate from the price tag. Um, Hopefully people won't ruin it and then try to take it back. Uh-huh. But that's just not here nor there. But yeah, it's been one of those weeks. I have an appointment today, but then I found a thing that said that there was a parade around the same that'll be ending around the same time that I need to be at my doctor's appointment. So I have no idea what's going on with that. But I think um, since they only really require me to be 15 minutes early, and the last one it was only 5. Yeah. Um, I think it'll still be alright as long as nobody does something stupid during the parade. And from the way the map looks, it looks like the parade is actually in a different area of town than where my appointment is. But it might still be close enough to be affected because people just, they park all over the place and they gotta walk back to their car. Yeah, so, yeah, hopefully nobody does anything like really stupid people. I swear, they get all caught up on stupid shit like you color your skin. Nobody has any control over that. I mean, like, shouldn't we be more concerned with the way people are behaving or talking or things that they're doing to themselves and others? If we really gotta find bad people in the world, they're like in the camp. I mean, not everybody in that camp is really bad, but those are people that, I would be leery of because they're unpredictable and they might actually hurt me. Um, it's not because of the color of their skin, it's because they're on drugs. Um, but those people are helpable. They just need to um, pull their head out of their ass and like grow up and not do drugs. But there's a series of therapeutic counseling and then actually being able to get them to rehab and convincing them that their situation is their fault. Those are some pretty complicated things because people oftenly have mental health issues on top of drug addiction, and the drugs themselves can create brain damage and therefore mental health issues. So it's kind of this weird, we got to treat them more complex. It's more complex than just go to rehab for like 6 weeks and then you're fine. Especially with some of the stuff that these people are using. Yeah, you ain't gonna rehab from that in 6 weeks. You're going to need to be into a year to 1 to 2 year intensive rehab program, and then they're probably going to have to move when they get out of the rehab because their friends, their stupid friends, are going to pull them back in. Because that's how that works. Um, it's very unfortunate to see people in that situation, but I just don't understand how people are. I do not understand how people are. Um, that they can just hate people for things that they have no control over and then be like, oh, it's okay that there's people dying in a field over here because, they're useless. They're only useless now. If they could get the help they needed, if they could be convinced to go in to get the help they needed, they'd probably be able to do some stuff. I just don't fully understand some of the issues that are going on right now um, with people because it seems like they're changing what things actually are to remove responsibility from people, like calling internet addiction internet gaming syndrome. No, they're addicted to the internet. Mhm. And I forget what they call drug addicts now, but they try to make it sound like they're not responsible for their addiction when they actually are. It is People do have things. It's called addictive personality disorder, and some people have it and some people don't. It does seem to run in families. Some people are more susceptible to addiction because they're from a more, I'll call it clean line. Clean as in their family history. There's not, like, that's what we did to the natives. There wasn't any any histories of the natives using drugs and alcohol, well, except maybe peyote and stuff like that. But nothing major that I'm aware of. But anyways, the drugs and alcohol that we brought over were different than what they were used to, so there was a really, really, really high chance of them becoming addicts. And that would happen really quickly because their system didn't didn't have the experience with the substances. So we did that to them. Um, yeah, I don't know if we did it on purpose or not, but we did that to them. So, um, I know they gave the smallpox blankets out on purpose, but I don't know if the alcohol addiction thing was on purpose because I don't know if they knew that. Because I mean, they didn't even know what germ theory was back then, so who knows? Um, but yeah, I'm trying to focus on what's good in the world. Um, and then this happened, so I'm hoping that none of those idiots are out today. um, the MLK had a really nice message that he was trying to get across to people. I'm understanding there might have been some stuff in his message that was a little questionable, but um, I know what he wanted wasn't like overthrowing the other people. I think he wanted equality. He seemed to really be into equality on so many levels: jobs, housing, education. Just so we could walk down the street and say hi to each other like there's no problem. And I got the message, but it seems like other people didn't. So um, I mean, I got the message after he died, so just from video clips, his famous dream speech. The people had to shoot him for some reason because they suck, and yeah, so that's the thing. But yeah, I don't know the whole thing with the stuff that was going on back then because, as I've mentioned, it was before I was born. So there's a lot of stuff, and then I know people even today they'll add stuff later, try to make it sound like it's something else, and it's just, oh. So it's hard to know what's real and what's not. But I do know that Martin Luther King did want a very equal, fair, or more fair, because life itself isn't fair, but he wanted it to be more fair, like that you're being able to do things was more on your own merit, your efforts, the things that you're doing to try to make your life better, than just somebody looking at you and go, oh, you're the right color. Yeah, that's not how that works. Or you're pretty enough. Most jobs, that's not how that works. Um, it's just, yeah. So I'm hoping that the parade goes off pretty well. It looks like it just started. as when I'm doing the video, it's supposed to stop around noon, and then I'm supposed to be at my appointment at 12:30. So there'll still be people milling around that area when I go there. So I'm hoping nothing bad happens because, people just suck. I mean, if people tell me they're normal and then they start talking about stuff, and I'm like, yeah, that's not normal. I'm like over here. I'm weird. I'm crazy. I don't care. I'd rather be a bit odd than what passes for normal these days. Like you see women that are like pathetic and obsessed with their looks, and then men just like, or I should say, people in general care more about sex than a real relationship. And then when the relationship fails because it wasn't gonna do anything because he didn't set it up right, there's like it's always, oh, it's the other person's fault. It's the other person's fault. Um, it's just so frustrating to see people like that. It wasn't the other person's fault. One or both of you set that relationship up so that it wouldn't succeed, and whether that was on purpose or just what happened, who knows? But it's not the other person's fault. It's you have responsibility in that, probably more than the other person. Because I know that with some of the relationships I've had, that I didn't let the actual communication part build before I let the sex part happen. And yeah, a year or two in, you find out you don't really have anything in common with the other person, and you're like, how'd I miss this? Well, I was stupid. I was young and stupid. And I didn't really let the relationship form before I let the sex happen. So that's what happened there. And I'm not saying that I'm more responsible than him, because he did start doing some things that were just ridiculous. And I couldn't leave him because I was in Arkansas. Don't recommend living in Arkansas, by the way. If you're not a Southern person, you don't get the ideals, I guess, that's going on in the South, especially in places like Arkansas. Don't go there. It's just, you're not gonna like it. It's a horrible place. I really did not like it. If the weather didn't scare you, the people sure the hell would. It's not a good place. I was telling my son, if I ever had to go back to South, I'd probably go into the area where one of the YouTubers I watch lives, because he is very intelligent and well spoken, and he doesn't seem to have these chauvinistic qualities that you see in the South. So that tells me, because you are a representative of the area that you're from, so people will see you, and then they you're part of that community. For somebody raised in the Appalachians to be as intelligent as this person is, that means that the resources, and there was resources and there was encouragement. So that's something you don't see in some areas in the South. And Appalachians are known for being, I don't even know if I'm saying that right, they're known for being a really impoverished area, because the hilliness makes it hard for things to be for some reason. Like, I think it's crops or something. I don't know. Don't fully understand the whole thing, but yeah. There's a lot that's just like, they're supposed to be like the poorest people in the nation, and yet they're educated. You see people who are educated. You see people who are still figuring out how to make it, how to make ends meet, how to support their community, and you see signs that there is education and opportunity starting to get there, and that people are actually taking advantage of it. And the fellow I'm talking about doesn't have signs of inbreeding, so that's an Arkansas thing, I guess. Though he does talk like there are areas similar to Arkansas. There's areas you don't want to go into, because like when I was in Springdale, and if you were in the city when I was in Arkansas, when you were in the city, you're fine, but if you left the city, you're fucked. So like they tell you, if you leave the city, have a gun, a cell phone, a fully charged cell phone, and I forget what else. I think maybe AAA. And do not get out of your car. Just don't get out of your car. So that was just great. It sucks up there. So yeah, it's I don't think I'm gonna I can't even imagine a reason why I would need to move to the south. And I know that my niece will probably want me to live closer to her, but I don't know. Kentucky sounds like a weird place. Um, Things that both her and my brother post just makes it sound like it's a really weird place. My brother's doing well there. He's got a, he's just, but I don't know that I would because the first time somebody treated me like a possession, I'd probably I'd freak out on them. I'd go off because I'm not a possession. I'm not property. And that's, there are many places in the South where they haven't figured that out yet. And Arkansas is one of them. And that's part of the reason I don't want to go back to the South because I don't want to be treated like property because I don't belong to anybody. And I've been treated like that and I don't like it. And it sucks. Um, but yeah, that's the thing. Um, so yeah, I made like a lot of money this week, and my son-in-law brought it up to the shop, and I'm just waiting because the store only opened a few minutes ago. So I'm just waiting to figure out to see what my sales are for this coming week, and I'm doing the weeks by when John takes the stuff up, because my sales potentials goes up when he's replacing stuff, when he's restocking the booth. So yeah, so having a week where I made like $150 and it's not Christmas, what? But it was Kraken hats. I sold 2 Kraken hats and a whole bunch of little things. So I sent up 2 more Kraken hats and a whole bunch of little things. So let's see what happens. I've got a lot of work to do, and I need to get on that. Then I got my appointment at 12:30, and I've got to finish my laundry. Trash man's already come, so I'm doing pretty good this week. A little bit of the stressful little things, but thankfully I'd made enough money to be able to afford the cab rides so that I don't have to bug my kids for that. I was just thinking about that because, like, I may not make enough to be able to pay rent or throw money towards a bill yet, but and then if Social Security does help, even if they don't give me much, if they only give me what my son's getting, then I'm still fine because that's guaranteed income. That's consistent guaranteed income that I'm getting every month. And that means that I can pay some bills and then I have money for other things when they pop up. Like I can get my bed and I can get that other piece of furniture I wanted and I can do, trying to think of things. Yeah, I can get yarn when I need it. I can go places more often. Stuff like that, that I feel like I need to be able to do because I'm just stuck. It's hard to get out. I don't really have any money, so I can't. So even if I did walk somewhere, I wouldn't really be able to afford to do anything. So that sucks. But I did make money over Christmas, so I do have the thing. So like yeah, so I feel like I'm helping out because I'd have to ask for like $100 and some just to get back and forth if to these 2 appointments because it's costing about $25 per cab ride, which kind of makes sense because of the price of gas. But yeah, and then if I tip them, because I know that the company takes most of the money, if I tip them, then that adds a few more dollars, which is why it's around 25 each way. So I need to have at least 50 each way, and I currently still have 130, which means that when I'm done with my trips, I'll have like $80, and of that $80, I can put some money aside, and I can put like in savings, so I have it for some other reason, and then like if something happens. That's why I put about 10% of my earnings into savings at this point in case something happens or if we need something. Um, yeah. But then I don't always make money, so then yeah, so that's it. Um, but yeah, I should still have like $80 after my trip, and that means I should be able to get some more yarn so that I can do some more Krakens, and I should be able to um my brain just and I should be able to put some money aside in case something comes up. And since I've already got quite a bit of money because I didn't sell very much during the sale that we had going. So that's, whatever. Um, and then I get like all these sales when the sale's over. So now let's see what this week brings. I mean, at this point, every sale is just adding to my check and it's adding to the commissions, which is supporting the store, which is something I like doing because I feel like I'm supporting my community when I'm doing this, and I'll probably continue to do this even if I get Social Security because I did it before. Um, and it's fine. I'm gonna just keep working on this until something changes, and then if I don't get Social Security, my sales are improving, so I can just keep doing my sales, and then maybe I can get to a certain point where I can throw like $100 at bills, and then have not have to worry about food stamps and all this stuff, and yeah, that'd be good. So that's what my goals are right now because I'm just trying to. My whole thing is I want to be more just try to make communities more disability friendly. So like in incomes that are more consistent because the government doesn't give us anywhere near enough. They don't even try. They call it cost of living increases and stuff. It's not cost of living. There's no cost of living. It's not enough. They give you like $100 and call it, well, there's more money. No, because the cost of living is shooting up right now because of reasons. There's like all this stuff going on right now that's just crazy. People aren't always focusing on the right thing. Um, as I found a YouTuber in a fake bunker talking about how food is going to be gone in a few months. It's not true. Food is not going to be completely gone. We have survived devastating crop loss before. I mean, that's part of what happened with the Great Depression. We had devastating crop loss at the same time that the stock market crashed. It was global too. So, yeah, there's a lot of stuff going on globally that's very similar. I'm not saying we're going into a depression because I don't know what the hell's going on. But it's up to us to do what we can to make life better for ourselves and for others. And freaking out about stuff that hasn't happened yet isn't gonna help. Telling people to stockpile 2 years worth of food that's probably not gonna last 2 years isn't gonna help. It's actually gonna get you attacked if what you think is gonna happen is gonna happen. But we've never ever completely lost all of the crops. It's just been that things have happened and things got more expensive. A lot more expensive, which we do see like with the eggs being super expensive. I'm not 100% sure what that's all about, but I've heard that it's bird flu, which has hit before. Um, and I'm still noticing a few transportation issues with the things getting to the grocery store, and I'm not 100% sure what that's about because I don't know if the semi truck drivers are still, I guess, protesting whatever it was they were protesting. And I think it was because of all the legal rules that they have for driving and stuff. They have to take breaks at certain time frames, and they have to sleep, and they have to do this, and they have to do that. And yet their companies are still telling them, you gotta have this like way this you gotta take this stuff in what should take you 3 days in a day. So I think that's what the problem was. So I don't know if I fully understood that, but yeah. But I'm not too worried about that because eventually the trucks show up and the stuff gets restocked. So that's fine. We'll live with it. Um, we can adjust and we can grow and we can learn. And yeah, it'll be okay. Don't panic. Things actually look like they're getting better, and I don't know if it's just me, but it seems like my roommates are getting overtime and bonuses and stuff like that. Um, so it's like right around Christmas, we got all kinds of money just out of the blue. Um, and then now I'm getting sales that I shouldn't be getting in January, but I'm not going to complain about it because, they're sales. So I think things might be getting better. I just don't know what's going on with the whole COVID thing, and I will wear a mask to my thing because some people do care. It doesn't seem like anybody actually cares, but people do care. I'm required to wear it, so I'm going to wear it. I don't think I'm sick, but with some of the issues I have, I wouldn't know. Um, and I don't know what's going on with everybody. So yeah, but it looks like I've been talking a while, so I should probably get off of here because I got other things to do. Like I said, I gotta be at a doctor's appointment in 2 hours, so I need to make sure that I'm ready for that. I need to get my head straight because it is a mental evaluation, and I do have to at least try. I gotta try because then they'll think I'm faking, and yeah, they can tell. So yeah. So let's hope I'm not too completely stupid. Yay! Gonna So I'm gonna pop off here, and I hope you guys have a great day. I might do a another update thing. Um, I don't know. We'll see how things wind up happening this week. Like I said, I don't know if I'm gonna get as many sales this week, and the culprits for all the sales was my Kraken hats. I wouldn't have done so well if I hadn't sold the Kraken hats. So I definitely want to focus on Kraken hats, even though they're a big project and they make a lot of money. So I don't sell like hundreds of them. I don't even have hundreds of them, but they are selling. So yeah, definitely to make sure I have enough of those. So I'm gonna pop off, and I hope everything goes well for everybody, and I hope that all of the parades are safe and that idiots aren't out there. So I'll talk to you later. Bye.